All right, we are joined now by Kyle Rode and Jason Porter, proud sponsor of the ASOR. I hope he's a proud sponsor. I guess I should ask him that. But Jason, how we doing tonight?
I'm good, guys. How are y'all doing?
Doing
Doing
well,
good, man.
doing
Great.
well. All right, Jason, take it away.
Indeed, still a proud sponsor, I promise you. So good to see you guys tonight. Kyle, I hate to go glass half empty, but you know how it always works out. Usually when we start talking about stuff, you heard the guys talking about the Lipscomb game earlier, and nothing really to add to that. I think I would just ask you. It seemed like, especially in the second half, Lipscomb pretty much played out of their mind. One of the better games it seems like they've had. As you guys look back, I know it was a short film study probably to just look back and see what you needed to sort of clean up. Did anything jump out to you? Anything that you specifically kind of felt off? I know in looking at the stats, the bench points were down. I think only about 16 points from the guys off the bench, which is unusual. But as you look back, anything about that game necessarily kind of feel off to y'all?
Yeah, 100%, man. I think anytime you play a good team on the road, the margin of error shrinks, and we felt like we kind of beat ourselves a little bit. I think we had too many turnovers in the first half, had some great looks to the rim, and from three, just didn't go down for us. And at the same time, they hit some big shots when it mattered, and you got to give them credit. They played really well, executed their game plan, and wasn't our best effort. So kind of disappointed about that. But at the same time, man, like, not the last game of the season. We got a big week in front of us, man. We're going to take it one day at a time and get better tomorrow at practice.
Yeah, Kyle, somebody once told me that emotions make terrible drivers, but are good passengers. I used that in my sermon today, by the way. So thank you for that. What's the emotions, coming out of the Austin P game where you guys, kind of had a big lead at the top and then the second half stalled out a little bit. Were you guys just happy to get away from there with a win? And I know you guys had never played there before. And then, what is the atmosphere in the locker room like after like a tough road loss like Lipscomb?
Yeah, 100%. That first Thursday game felt like we did a great job in the first half, being physical, contesting shots, forcing some tough ones, and we were really flowing offensively. I think Colin had probably felt like 10 assists in the first half. I know he ended the game with 9, so that couldn't happen. But no, it was really good for us, and they did a good job in the second half executing some stuff. Credit to them; they were hitting some tough shots off the bounce, off the catch. So we felt like we cleaned that up on Thursday night and Friday, and we're super excited for another opportunity to compete at Lipscomb on Saturday, man. And after a loss like that, where you feel like you didn't play your best but had a chance to win, that's all you can really ask for. So. Disappointed kind of by the outcome of being 1-1 on the road, but at the same time, we got a veteran group, man, and we've all kind of been through this before. I remember just having Mile and Cuff in the locker room yesterday talking about that 30-4 team when we had lost to Lipscomb last game of the regular season, and that kind of you kind of go into the conference tournament on a loss, and you're like, that stinks. But at the same time, it's like how you respond the next game, the next practice. Is really what we're focused on.
Yeah, we also probably should have pointed out earlier, Joseph Van Zandt also only played 10 minutes in this game, which he's such a huge part of what you guys do. Should have mentioned that as well. So hopefully he can be healthy and back in the lineup on Thursday. Kyle, did you kind of get the same sense that I did, maybe where, oh yeah, home court advantage in the ASUN tournament is really big because it feels like these games when you guys have had like the off games, feels like they're more often than not on the road versus at home.
Yeah, I think it's super indicative when you look at people's records, right? Like I think Lipscomb's one loss at home on the season. Think about Jacksonville's home court win streak that they had, and we feel like we have the best fans in the conference in Liberty Arena when that thing's packed out. And coach says it all the time: a good home court advantage is good for 6 points in a game, and so whether that's true or not, you definitely love playing at home more than you do on the road. But at the same time, we feel like we're a tough team, man, and wherever we got to win, that's where we got to win. So hopefully it's Liberty Arena, but at the same time, if we got to go to somebody else's place and get a win, we feel like we can do that as well.
Now, Will, there was another Coach McKay quote. I'm interested to see how you may work that one into a sermon. That may be a little tougher.
Yeah.
6 extra bodies on Sunday morning. I don't know. But anyway, Kyle, with Eastern Kentucky coming in, I know we don't harp on the whole revenge game thing, but obviously they put together a pretty good scout on y'all last time that caused a little bit of havoc and shooting 423 from threes, which again very uncharacteristic of us, and we'll kind of have those type of games. But just curious, thankfully the loss side of the game film was a whole lot thinner than the win side of the game film. But how do you guys break that down? Do you go back and look at what opponents have done that have kind of tripped you up and made some corrections that are not obvious, or how do y'all break that down?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the best part about playing on teams twice in the conferences. The first time we were on the road, like you said, at EKU, and then you get a chance to play them at home in front of your fans again. And we got a tough one on Thursday night against Bellarmine as well. So we're definitely not overlooking that whatsoever. We know how solid they are, and excited about that opportunity. But yeah, no, I think our coaching staff does an unbelievable job of in-game adjustments, after-game adjustments, and sometimes on those quick turns where your prep Thursday to Saturday is only one day. They're elite, man. So trust them for sure, and super excited for both opportunities this week.
Cal, you kind of got right into what my next question was going to be, but you got a rematch with Bellarmine. How tough is it to I know you guys can say all the right things about, and Bellarmine has certainly played a lot better since you played them, but when you play a team that you did beat handily, how difficult is it preparing to have that same intensity to be able to hopefully repeat the same result?
Yeah, I think every game's different, right? Like every game will start 0-0, and no matter what happened the last game, you don't pick up that score. So I think for us, it's we're super locked in on the game at hand, and focused on really our scout, what we need to do to win that game that day. And like you said, teams are playing different. Some guys might be out, some guys might be playing better than they were before, and so everyone's different. And we know they have a really good culture, and that really is we feel like we have the same culture as well. So super excited to play them on Thursday, man, and be good.
Hey, that Lipscomb game, early on, you guys lose Darius and JV for just a little time. Talk about leadership in that moment. What is your role in that? Because I mean, you're over there and you see that your best offensive weapon and your best defensive player are both on the bench, and now you guys kind of have to piece it together a little bit. Just talk about that moment where both of those guys are out, and you guys have to keep playing.
Yeah, really at that point, man, you really have no idea. Just kind of next man up. We feel super confident in our depth, and Peeves did a great job coming in right there, and Zay. So I have unbelievable confidence in them, and felt like we did a good job. It felt like Colin did a really good job touching the paint early, had a couple lobs to Blake, and feel like we're a super well-rounded team, man. We can play in multiple different ways, and Darius is obviously a big part of that too. So when he's not on the floor, we obviously want him to get back on the court. But at the same time, man, we have a great group of guys that can play together and are smart, and we'll figure it out. So,
Kyle, you guys are at the last month of the season here in February, and the running joke in sports medicine used to be you switch from athletic tape to duct tape at this time of year, just trying to keep everybody together. And Aaron Schreiner, the athletic trainer, Rob Hornet, the strength coach, do a great job. Any adjustments at this point in the year for recovery, or anything that you guys do a little bit different just because the games are starting to add up at this point?
Yeah, I think really just double down, man. Double down on your routine, making sure you're sleeping, making sure you're eating right, kind of the most basic things in the world. At the same time, they make a big difference. And Shrine and Coach Horner are phenomenal. Coach always does a really good job of being mindful of our practice time and mental health and academics, like that work-life balance. He does an unbelievable job with that. So always feel like our teams are primed up this time of the year, and think this one's going to be the same.
Well, Kyle, big game for Darius against Lipscomb. Broke the Liberty scoring record. Were you guys aware of that, as Chad asked? And have you ever had any interactions with Carl Hess? Has he been around the program since you've been there at all, or what is your thoughts on him?
Yeah, no. So Coach actually told us kind of before the game, like, hey, Darius is, I think it was 9 or something points away. So we were all super excited for him. And the coolest thing about Darius was, like, you never know, he's about to break the scoring record for the school history. He's so humble, and he's done an unbelievable job of handling all that, man. Like, he's truly been one of the best teammates I've got the opportunity to play with. And in the game, honestly, I didn't even know what shot it was until I saw it on Instagram or something after the game. And so that was pretty wild. But and then no, I haven't got to meet Carl yet. I've heard he's a great guy. Just heard some unbelievable stories about him, man. And so I haven't had the opportunity to meet him.
All right. Well, very good. Well, Kyle, we really appreciate your time. 2 big home games coming up this week. We're rooting for you guys to take care of business, and you guys still have everything right in front of you. Still control your own destiny, and this is still a really, really, really good team. We're excited to see the rest of the season.
Big time, man. Let's sell them out.
Yep. All right. Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Good luck.
All right, Jason. Wanted to ask you about new construction of a home. What are maybe some of like the pros and cons with that?
Yeah, new construction is always a lot of fun to talk about. It's a challenging endeavor, and people kind of need to be prepared for that. I've got 2 clients in the middle of it right now, and myself and our family actually just went through over the summertime. So we're not only having walked through it, we have experienced it personally ourselves. I would say a couple of things. First of all, I always use the joke, and I say that if you like the new car smell, you should try a new house, because it smells incredible when you get a brand new house, obviously. But a couple things to keep in mind as you venture down that path. The first thing is, right now, even post-pandemic and the sort of the building cycle we're in now, you need time. So if you're in a crunch to buy something, if you need to be in somewhere 3 months or 6 months or whatever, new construction may not be the best bet just because of the unforeseen of what could come up. So you need to have time on your side if you're considering new construction. Secondly, I would tell you that the earlier you can get involved in new construction, usually the more selections that you have a chance to do, whether it's countertops or granite or cabinets or paint color, something like that. So usually the builder will have kind of the lanes that you need to stay within. But the earlier you get in the jump in the process, the more opportunity you have then to make selections. And then the last thing I would just say is kind of embrace the chaos and be ready for some randomness, because there are just crazy things that are still hitting supply chain issues. I've got some folks that are waiting on an exterior electrical panel box. Over the summer, I closed a house, new construction, without a garage door. You just don't know where the shortages are going to be right now. But new construction is an incredible endeavor, a lot of fun, very exciting, and a great way to go about it as long as time is on your sides. And like I said, I've done a lot of new construction, so be glad to help anybody with those questions.